Dear students, welcome back. I am your SSC teacher, Maya Gurani. So students, as you know, we are discussing the third chapter of history. The name of the chapter is Delhi Sultanate. So students, in the previous video, we have discussed about the 5 dynasties.
Let's recap. Introduction of the chapter. The Delhi Sultanate were the Persian-speaking dynasties of Turkic and Afghan origin, which were controlling India from 1210 to 1526. Many of these dynasties ruled from Delhi. This includes the Slave dynasty. It ruled from 1206 to 1290. The Khilji dynasty. It ruled from 1290 to 1320. The Tughlaq dynasty ruled from 1320 to 1413. The Sayyid dynasties that ruled from 1414 to 1415, and the Lodi dynasty which ruled from 1451 to 1526. After the death of Muhammad Ghori in 1206 AD, his Indian empire passed onto the hands of his viceroy Qutbuddin Aibak. As he had no successors, he later became the founder of the Slave dynasty. The Delhi Sultanate was established by Qutbuddin Aibak in 1206 AD. Altogether, 5 dynasties from 1206 to 1526 AD formed Delhi Sultanate.
And also, we have discussed the sources that tell about the Delhi Sultans or their admin. And also we have discussed that what are the problems that they faced when they were expanding their empire from garrison town to whole country. So when did they manage to control the empire from garrison town to whole country? So it was done in the reigns of Ghiyasuddin Balban, Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So how did they manage to control the empire from garrison town to whole country? So they did this internally or externally. So let me tell you first about internally how they expanded their empire. So in order to get control internally, first they control the hinterlands. And then later on, the forest land around the Ganga Yamuna belt was cleared, and the hunter-gatherers were removed from there, and the land were given to the peasants so that the cultivation can be carried out. And also they did this because to help the regional trade. And also they built the new towns and the fortresses so that they can ensure that the trade routes were well protected. Now I will tell you how externally they extended their empire. So externally, the military expeditions were carried out in South India. And also the military expedition which was begun with Alauddin Khilji and ended with Muhammad Tughlaq. And the military expeditions by it and the sultans who captured the elephant, horses, slaves and collected precious metals from the cities they seized. So we can say by the 14th century, now the sultans, they had captured the most of the land now from the small town garrison to the whole empire. As these sultans, they expanded their rule from small town to an empire. Now they were in need of a consolidated administration. So here we will discuss the administration and consolidation under the Khiljis and Tughlaqs. So why we are only talking about the administration of the Khiljis and the Tughlaqs? It is because during the reigns of these two rulers, the expansion was much better than other ruler or the other sultans. So what were their policies? You might know that before the Delhi Sultanate, the rulers, they only gave preference to the relatives or the aristocrats. They gave the special post to these person, the chieftain. The high post was given to this person. But during the reigns of Delhi Sultan, now the policies have changed. Now the Sultan, they started giving the high post to the slaves. Who were these slaves? These slaves were also known as the Bandagan. What is the meaning of Bandagan? Bandagan, who were also known as the special slaves. And the Bandagan is a Persian word. So why the Sultan, they were in need of the special slave or the Bandagan for a high post?
Bandagan is a Persian term used for special slaves who were purchased for military service. They were carefully trained to man some of the most important political offices in the kingdom. Because they were totally dependent on their master, so the Sultan could trust and rely on them. That's why they appointed the Bandagan in most of the high posts.
As the Sultan, they were administering the whole country from one place, the Delhi. So it is not possible for one Sultan to control whole territory alone. So they were in need of a governor, so they can appoint the governor in many of the parts so that they can administrate the whole territory properly. So they started appointing the slave in high post, and these Bandagan were given a special military training, and after the special training they were posted, they were given a special post. And it is said by a learned man that worthy and experienced slave is better than a son. It was carried out by the Khiljis or the Tughlaq. The Khiljis or the Tughlaq, they also appointed the Bandagan or the special slave to the special post, the special post like the general or the governor, as they considered the slave as their trusted one. So what was lead to the political instability, or we can say that why there was insecurity among the people? There was a reason. As these special slaves, they were appointed by or they were bought by the king, so they were not loyal to the successor of the king. For example, I am a king and I am appointing a slave as a special post. So he will be only loyal to me, he will not be loyal to my son or my heirs or we can say my successor. So this was the problem. And also, as these heirs, as they were not loyal to the successor, so they can defeat them or they can betray them, or they would not support the heir to be in the throne. And there was one more problem, that new sultans had their own servants, and also the new sultan who will succeed the king, he will also appoint a new servant, and as there were the old servant also, so there will be the conflict between the old and new nobility. The old nobility is nothing but the old or new slaves appointed by the kings or their successors. So this system was not liked by many elites and authors of the Persian Tariq. So this system was not liked by many elites like aristocrats and the chieftains, and by the Persian Tariq. The Persian Tariq, it was a written document of the Delhi Sultan. So it was not liked by them. It is because they believe that this high post must be given to the high class people, not to the low and base born people. as they believe that the generals or the governor must be of their own, means the aristocrats and these chieftains have a right to be on the post, but not to these bandagan or these slave people. As they are from low and base born, like they were from humble family, like they were like barber, cook, gardeners and the others. So it is criticized by many of the chronicler also.
ICTA system. ICTA assists and registers to reduce fraud and corruption. ICTA system was a land-based administrative system introduced in India by Iltutmish. Not hereditary but assigned for a limited use. Revert to Tazur at the end of appointment period. The sizes kept small, holdings scattered to reduce influence to ICTA holder. Delhi Sultans had divided their empire into ICTAs under the charge of officials called Iqtidars. The ICTAs were the administrative units given to officials in lieu of their services to the Sultan. With this money, they maintained themselves, their family, and also paid the soldier under them. In return, they supplied troops to Sultan whenever they needed them. Iqtidars maintained law and order in the ICTA. Iqtidar used to fulfill administrative and military operations in his ICTA. He took out his salary and administrative and military expenditures from the revenue received from the ICTA and deposited the remaining amount in the treasury of Sultan. The balance was called Fazil. Iqtidar used to rule in the name of Sultan is in ICTA. His post was not hereditary. Iqtidar did not even have the right to run court. And Iqtidar's post was transferable. The Sultan transferred Iqtidar on time to time. Here the Sultan's authority glimpses on Iqtidar. Thus, in the feudal method of the Rajput era, Sultan had more control over his Iqtidars. But Firoz Shah Tughlaq had made the post of Iqtidar hereditary. That's all for today's lecture. The rest of the chapter we will discuss in the upcoming videos. Till then, stay happy, stay safe.